Welcome to Founders Club, the show for real estate entrepreneurs. So what can we do? Obviously learning these strategies, but what can we do to make sure we're prepared this time around?
Yeah, step number one, obviously, and we talked about a lot of the elements. So step number one is obviously educating yourself. I heard what you said. I didn't understand barely any of it, right? Like I didn't really internalize it. So you got to go and you got to educate. Look up wraparound mortgages. Look up all-inclusive contract for deeds. Look up seller financing. Look up seller participation and creative financing. A lot of stuff on YouTube even. But educate yourself, number one. Whether that means finding a mentor, finding somebody that's already doing the business and getting proximity to them, that's always step number one. Because when you're exposed to principals or people playing the game at the highest level, you're naturally start to level up, right? You just start to get pulled up because you're like, I didn't know that existed. I'm now geeking out on it. Over time, you're gonna be able to serve your way up there. And so that's number one. Number two is you got to create a success habit of getting out of the education world as fast as possible through active deal making. You'll learn through screwing stuff up, and you know how this is. You get hung up on, you get better on the phones. You sit down at a seller appointment and they tell you no. Next time you go, you're wiser, you're faster, you're able to overcome objections a little bit more. So get in the game at all costs. Get in the game.
Yeah.
And then I would say number three is find a community to plug into. There's a lot of Facebook groups. There's a lot of things out there where you can get plugged into a community. The reason I started Clever Investor was for the community. The reason I started 100millionacademy.com, which is my entrepreneurial education business with my good friends Dan Fleischman and Joel Marion. And if you don't know Dan, go follow him on Instagram. The guy is the youngest founder of publicly traded companies, an absolute badass. I can't say enough great things. He's the most connected man I've ever met. And then Joe Marion, founder of BioTrust, did over $780 million in, health and fitness space. They do, over 100 million a year. He's got over 20 million people on his email database. Just an amazing marketer, playing the game at a very high level. We started 100millionacademy.com to teach entrepreneurs how to be better entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, you go to business school or something at college? Like, how are you going to learn business from a dude?
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. It's something that we talk about a lot, is that there's obviously doing it is the best learning experience, but there's no really good trainings for people on how to start a business, how to work the taxes the right way, how to set up your entities properly, how to network, how to market, how to do all these things. And I think that, the more entrepreneurs we can create, the better we're all going to be.
It's a self-fulfilling loop. If you think about it, how many people are out of work looking for jobs? You start a business, you hire 10 people. If we can get 100,000 entrepreneurs to start a business and they all hire 10 people, it gets a lot better, right? And so we did that. We solved that problem, and we did it by finding instructors through our network and our relationships that have all, like if I go to college, like maybe one or two or three of my instructors made $100 million, maybe in the whole college, like maybe.
Yeah.
You go to Harvard, it might be a little different, but normal college, nobody's playing the game at that level. And so we went to the best in the world at what they do. They've all made $100 million, spent $100 million on advertising, or received 100 million impressions. So they're celebrities or they're badasses. And, and I'm talking about, guys like Marcus Lemonis from The Profit, CEO of Camping World, one of our instructors. Neil Patel, one of the greatest online marketers in the game.
Yep. So
it's people playing the game at that level. Joel Marion, 20 million people on his email database, did 780 million. We have over 22 nine-figure instructors teaching over 40 different instructor classes in all these different niches. And then we did something even crazier. We went out and we said, let's become like the Netflix for entrepreneurs, where Monday through Friday, we go live from our studio. We do a live training call. It's a mentoring session where now our community members can ask us questions, and 100 million instructor is there 5 days a week to answer the questions. So that's 100millionacademy.com. You just got to get plugged in. If you do that, all of a sudden, now you feel a little bit more confidence because you can get your questions answered. You can get peer-to-peer help. Like sometimes people don't relate to me because they're like, Cody, you don't get it. You're rich. You're already, you got the
like you're already there.
Yeah, it's like you can't relate to the pain that I'm going through because it's easy for you. You got the reputation, you got the brand, you got the marketing. Okay, well, then learn from the community.
Yeah.
Peer-to-peer is sometimes more powerful than a mentoring relationship. But if you're not plugged into something, and I believe that people are just walking around with their umbilical cord trying to plug it in, it feels so good. It's like, oh, finally I'm around people that get it.
Yeah.
And that would be the final step. And if you do that and you just put your blinders on, I'll leave you with at least a little piece of advice from my mentor that he used to drill it into my head. He would say, Cody, he would say two sayings. Cody, yes, gets you out of Egypt, but no, takes you to the promised land. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, look, in the beginning, you got to say yes a lot. But at a certain point, you got to say no to everything. That's how you really level up. And
that's great advice.
Yeah. And the other thing he would say is, Sperber, you're dying a death by 1,000 cuts. Knock it off. Right? And what that means is you got to approach things. And this is now a Cody Sperber saying, I'm going to throw my own thing on it, which is a starve the ponies, feed the stallions. It's all the same thought. Quit thinking as an entrepreneur you can do it all, because you can't. You're going to do 10 things at 10%. It's the dumbest approach, but we all do it.
Yeah, we're all guilty of it for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, because we're superhumans, right? You're so narcissistic that you think you can do it all.
Yeah.
But the reality is you can't. And I would rather dominate one or two things and literally dominate them than be mediocre at 10. And if you want to be the best agent in town, you better buckle down and be the best agent and not try to be the best agent and the best educator and the best whatever.
Yeah, no, I love that. And that's something we talk about on the show a lot, is that the number one thing you can do to get through all this is have the skills. If you're new to the channel, my name is Oliver, and I'm a 3-time Inc. 500 real estate entrepreneur. I'm a co-founder of a brokerage with over 1,000 agents doing $4 billion in sales, and I'm an active real estate investor. But most importantly, I'm passionate about helping you grow your real estate business. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go.